Guys, welcome back to another video. We are outside and it is a beautiful day, and we've been having some really nice warm days, and all of our snow has completely melted. It's been a really great opportunity for me out to go to the garden beds and get them ready and do some things in the chicken coop and do some raking because we needed to clean out this yard definitely a lot. As you can see, everything is looking good back there. I'm going to take you guys to the garden bed so you can see what things are growing right now. But yeah, let's get right into it. Chickens have been running around enjoying the grass and all the bugs that they can find. They have been waiting so long to be able to run freely outside, and they've just really been enjoying it. I trimmed up the flowers that were right here. That's a strawberry plant. It's got lots of new growth. These are dragon snaps. I know they're annuals, but I wanted to see because it still had lots of green. I thought it might still be able to grow. I just mixed around some duck poop ground that I had and the other ones, but they're all clean, they're all empty, they're all ready. And then in the herb bed, I trimmed everything down, and as you can see, lemon balm is growing. The chives are starting to pop up, and there is some mint that has popped up. You can see a little new growth right there. Those are just some perennial herbs that I planted last year that are growing in again. Also, for this where all my flowers are, I'm still leaving the leaves just to protect what's underneath there, but I will clean that out soon. The foxgloves are growing. You can see that's what's green and poking out. And then there's also yarrow, which is also another perennial that's growing right in here. I have a bunch of that planted right in between, as you can see. More foxgloves. I can absolutely not wait until it is time to get planting. As you saw in previous videos, my onions are growing, and soon the seed order is going to come in, and we're going to plant our tomatoes and our peppers and start those inside. And then once it's the first week of May, that's my last frost date, it'll be time to plant in these garden beds. Soon we're going to be adding compost and all the amendments that we're going to add to it to just boost that nutrients for the plants. Areas on the ground, which last year I planted pepper plants here. There was squash and melon plants here, corn, and there was pumpkin plants over here. I'm going to be doing zucchinis over here. I'm not sure what I was going to add here. I have some type of flower variety, and then I'm going to be planting spaghetti squash over here. And then I might just be planting flowers over here, and then of course I'll still have all my perennial flowers right here. Don't mind all of my chicken noises. They're really happy to be out, so they're going to express that. The duck run, the chickens have been making holes all over the ground, as you can see, sandbathing. But nothing over here has started growing. I'm going to need to fix this up where that's growing, and everything that was along here is pretty much dead. I don't think that's going to grow up. And the herbs over here, thyme hasn't come up yet. And the only thing that's come up is this mint right here. It's poking through there. And there's a little bit of mint growing right there, as you can see. The duck run will need to be cleaned out soon. But we're still supposed to get some colder weather, so I'm not going to be taking any plastic down yet. I usually do that in April when I'm not going to be getting really, really cold negative temperatures anymore. In April is when we'll do the official deep clean and remove all of the plastic that's in the coop. But for now, I do need to clean up a few things in the coop here to add some more room again and just tidy it up just a little bit so that way it's not so crammed and dirty. Well, it's still warmer out here. Mama, hello, chippy chippy doody. You're such a cute, sweet mama. As you can see, I need to sweep this area out, move this all. The main thing we need to do is take out this right here and this right here. If you're wondering what I was using these two things for, I was using this at nighttime. I would put the smaller breeds like the Old Age Game Bantams and my frillos in there with some hot water bottles, and that would basically keep them warmer than it would out here when we were getting like negative 30 temperatures, because they would have not been okay just laying out wherever they would have before. And then the crate here I used to put Harry in because he was misbehaving and needed to be separated but still seen by everybody, so that way they didn't forget who he was, and then reestablish that pecking order, which is a whole different thing. But so we're gonna move those two things out, and that'll give a lot more room in here. It doesn't look too big on camera, but this is a pretty big coop, and once I clear those things out, it'll look even bigger. I really so badly want to move all of this plastic out here and clean it and blow it all clean and just I've been waiting for that day, but I need to be able to get the hose in here, and I need to be able to scoop up all this old bedding with a wheelbarrow, and then I'm hopefully going to add sand as their substrate back down in here, which is way easier to clean, way easier to manage, makes it smell a lot better in here. Honestly, I don't mind the smell too bad because I'm used to it, but for other people, they don't want to have to experience that smell. So it really doesn't smell too bad, especially when you add a layer of new bedding and stall dry down, but it just has to be left for now. I'm going to move it into the middle barn area where Crooked-Toes and DeVito sleep, right beside this one. I'm just going to move the crate right beside this, and like I had it before, and probably leave the other one on top of it. We unfortunately have had a pretty bad mice problem, which is obviously gonna happen when you have chickens, and you don't plug up every single hole where they can possibly get into. So I found a mice nest. Luckily there was no babies, but I removed that real quick. Some people are gonna disagree with that, but me personally, mice are my worst fear. I absolutely hate them. I freak out. They give me the heebie-jeebies, and I am just not for it. Every chance I possibly have to avoid interacting with them, seeing them, or anything possible like that, I'm gonna remove it. So we removed the nest. It was in a tote where tarp was in. Bad mistake having areas like that where they can get cozy and feel safe in. So having nothing really on the ground where they can possibly get settled and nest in. So I'll have that up off the ground, and obviously they won't nest in the dog crates. But it is a really big mess in here too. Don't worry guys, this will also be cleaned out, and I am so excited to deep clean this. And most of this is my dad's junk, and he's not an organizer. Like I am a very organized person, and I like things very organized. My area right here, all my farm stuff isn't too organized right now because it has to be out of the way to get the lumber out, because we took this bad boy out. But that's not mine. But all this farm stuff, this is all mine. This all has to be put away. This has to be cleaned because the mice have decided they like to eat flower seeds, and I did not properly put them away. But yeah. But that's it for in there. We're going to put that dog crate once you take it out in there. If you guys want to update on Crooked-Toes and DeVito, I have the plastic up here when it rains so it doesn't go in there. But here they are. Crooked-Toes and DeVito, water, food. They're doing really, really well. I have lots of bedding down because it was really, really cold, and I wanted them to be able to get cozy up in there. It is actually starting to rain, of course, exactly when I planned out to film. But once it warms up, the plastic will be taken off. I'll clear out the bedding, be back on the grass to get whatever grass they want to eat and bugs they want to eat. If you're wondering why I keep them in there, it's because they don't get along with the rest of the flock, and I am way too attached to Crooked-Toes. And DeVito is his buddy to keep him warm at night, and obviously he doesn't get along with anybody else either. And also, of course, having too many roosters for my ladies, they need to be separate because otherwise my ladies would just get way too overmated, and they all have a specific favorite, and that lady, Big Mama, will get destroyed. Anyways, now that it's starting to rain, let's quickly move the dog crate and thing out and into the middle barn. There we go, that's beside that. Now time to add the other thing on top. Alrighty, that is good for now. This is out of the way. This is back in here beside the other one. Now it looks way better than the chicken coop. See, nothing's blocking there. Now we have a bigger open inner space. No point in me sweeping right here because it is still wet. So the dirt is still stuck to the pavers, and I'm gonna deal with this at another time. Really starting to sprinkle out here. But yeah, guys, that is the update on how the garden is and how everything is doing. Right. Hopefully we don't really get too much more snow or too much more cold temperatures. We're going to deep clean this coop soon, get planting soon. So many things are happening, and it is very exciting. But I gotta head inside now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.